Peace, family. Um, it's Soul Food Sundays, and on these days, I like to think soul as SOL, like soul from the sun. I don't know if y'all can see all that sunshine up there. Um, and with the sun, it could be sun foods, and it could also have to do with spirituality. Soul Food Sundays, sun or soul, really. So, with that being said, today, well, I just say somebody wanted me to talk about what. So it's gonna be the 4th of July, so we gonna be hearing this in the video. You might see me jump. Sorry, but not sorry if I do, because my nerves is real bad. But somebody wanted me to talk about what the love of God is and what does it mean to be a Christian or something like that. I'm choosing not to talk about those things specifically because, first off, as far as the first question of what the love of God is, I'll say that everybody experiences God's love in different ways. So for me to say what the love of God is, I can't necessarily define that. And to say what a Christian is, I don't classify myself as a Christian, so I think that those who do, maybe they'll be better off. Maybe they'll be better off, saying what it means to be a Christian, because I can only tell you about me. And with that being said, I decided to make this video about what my spirituality is, why I lost my religion. I guess you could think of it as those two ways. I want to start by saying that I'm not making this video to change anybody's mind about their religion. I'm like far past that point in my journey into thinking anything is a matter of wrong or right. I do what makes me happy, and I do what my spirit leads me to do, and that's all I can say. But I do know that there are people out here who really are curious as to how the lady who got you can't really see it, but I have like a cross I got a cross on my wrist. On my back it says, my faith, his grace is, eternal. Which both I plan on getting covered up with something else that's more relevant to my life right now. But I've always been heavy in my faith, and some people might be watching my journey and being like, yeah, how you lose your religion. So with that, let's just get into it. For me, I try to make this as short as possible. I realize that none of us are wrong. No religion is wrong. And my entire life, I felt very weird about accepting the fact that if you weren't a Christian, you would be going to hell. That was something that I never wanted to believe in, because there are really good people that are Muslims. There are really good people that are Hindu and that are Buddhists and, all types of things. And I always grew up to be friends or to be around these people and to see how, spirituality meant something to them just like it did to me. And I never felt that anybody should be penalized for being raised in a family that taught them what they taught them. And I never liked the answer. I didn't never like the idea of being right, like that I have the right religion, that this is what it is and that's just that, really I had this one moment when I was, I probably said this in another video, but I had this one moment when I was a freshman in high school, and we were in history class, and I said something like, I didn't think nothing of it at the time, I really didn't. But I don't remember what we were talking about in class, but I said something like, I hope that when we die, that everybody goes to where they believe that they're going to go to. Like, I hope that it's like a dream world that you just never wake up from. It's just you go where you believe you're going to go. And my teacher was like, well, I remember him just kind of being like, I would like to see that too. But then after that, You know, some of the people in the class was like, wait, so you saying you believe in more than one God? So, you know, at the time, I'm classifying myself as a Christian because of my upbringing, and I knew to be afraid, like, I knew to resist the idea of the thought of it being more than one God or whatever. That's not something that you ever wanted to say that you did. So I'm like, nah. They like, oh, well, it sounds like that's what you're saying. And I didn't understand why they felt that way. So then I came home and I told my sister the same thing. And she said, no, it do sound like you saying that you believe in more than one God. And I was like, how though? She's like, no, it just is what it is. It's Christianity, woo. I'm like, you know, it didn't sit well with me. So at the end of the day, I guess I'm basically saying that it's not like it's a matter of me changing anything. It's what I've always believed in, me actually just becoming real with myself. There are things within the Bible that never sat well with me. You know, there are ideas that people have within Christianity, just a religion. I'm not saying that anything about Jesus Christ. That don't mean Jesus Christ is Jesus Christ, whatever, you know who. But what I'm talking about is religion. And at the end of the day, if Jesus Christ was a real man, still, he never asked anyone to organize a religion around him. And I guess now, as I reach further in my journey, I realize that he was a man, just as Buddha was a man, just as Muhammad was a man, just as many spiritual leaders or warriors were, and ladies who had their own journey of enlightenment and became closer to God, and God was able to speak directly to them and use them as messengers. And I personally believe that why would God have only one messenger when everyone on this planet are very, very different? And naturally, because of our inherent differences, at least we have differences that make us one. These firecrackers are getting me. We have differences that make us a totality of one. We're not the same. And I think some people try to spit that within religion, that we're the same, and we're not. The totality of us is what makes the whole. We're all necessary. And with that being said, more philosophies than one is necessary. And if I am more fiery, I have a fire personality. I have a fire spirit. I don't think Jesus Christ had a fire spirit. If he was a real man, I don't believe that his spirit was fire. It was probably air, or water. You know what I mean? It could have even been earth, but it sure wasn't fire. So with that being said, everybody spirit is going to connect to something different, but it's for us to get to the same destination, which is supposed to be a higher consciousness, which is supposed to be enlightenment, which is supposed to be developing our highest and strongest relationship with God. And no religion is wrong. They all pretty much believe in good morals for the most part, or try to spit that. All of them, have probably created some type of destruction, and I choose myself to recognize myself as just a overall spiritual being that probably is every religion, or every religion being a part of me, or maybe no religion is a part of me, who knows, but it doesn't matter. The bottom line is this: black people say they Hebrews, they say they Rastas, they say they black Jews, or whatever, we classify ourselves as. And it's all true. We all of that. And I'm just one to say that I'm not going to put myself in a box to say that it has to be one way. Jesus Christ isn't anybody outside of me. What Jesus Christ did is exactly what others after him and before him have done, but they just don't have a book written in their behalf that has been mass produced and scattered around the world and have people actually just believing it to be all that there is to it. Because I can compare Jesus to a lot of black saviors who aren't really saviors, just people who reach their own state of enlightenment, you know, who led the people who were crucified for truth, crucified for spitting justice, you know, or morality, you know. So and people followed them, you know, and just because of who they were. And I know who I am here to be, and I know that if I believe that there's anything outside of my capabilities, that's when it becomes true. But as long as I believe that I am all that I am that I am that I am, it's the truth. And I can be anything. I am everything. All right. If you have any more questions, I feel like that really explains it at the simplest level, how I feel. And now, you know, I practice African spirituality. You know, I honor my ancestors. I have an altar set up for them. I guess I could tell y'all that too. I have an altar set up for them. And I basically do that not even because I believe that any one is the right one. It's because my spirit connects to those practices and it's calling for me. And I just listen to my spirit. You know, it's calling for me to learn from my elders who are acquainted with our traditional spiritual practices, because I am trying to get a closer relationship with my ancestors, as well as nature, which is our orishas, and God, you know. And I love what African spirituality, it goes so many ways. There's not just one spiritual practice within it, and African spirituality doesn't condemn one's belief of what it is, because it understands that everything is everything and it always will be, no matter what a person believes. We are all believing what we believe based off the experience that we're having. There are no wrong answers, you know. Everything is necessary. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to leave it at that. But if you do have any more questions, please let me know. I'll try to answer them if I can. And if I can't, I'll be real about it and do a spin-off video like I did this time. All right. Peace, love, black power all day, every day. Ain't no other way. I think that's about all that I got to say. Hey.